Well, good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. We're fewer than 40 hours away from Donald Trump's inauguration, and the John Lewis-led boycott of Friday's festivities continues to grow by the moment. As of right now, at least 68 House Democrats say they are ditching Trump's inauguration. Some say they oppose his policies. Others insist his entire presidency, the man himself, is illegitimate. One of those participating in the boycott is newly elected Congressman Dwight Evans of Pennsylvania, and he joins us tonight live from Philadelphia. Congressman, thanks a lot for coming on.
Oh, thank you very much.
So you just got elected, and now you're boycotting. How come?
A couple of reasons. First and foremost, I believe that the president-elect doesn't share the same aspect around the Affordable Care Act, which is basically for the constituents that I represent, and it's very important. Secondly, about the Russian hacking. I believe that also should be taken serious, and it should be investigated. And thirdly, about the issue about Congressman John Lewis. Here in the city of Philadelphia, he received the Liberty Medal celebration of the Constitution a couple weeks ago. Very same medal that President Mandela, Colin Powell, Jimmy Carter, a number of other people received that. So basically, look, at the end of the day, the president-elect will be sworn in. But, you know, this is the opportunity for me to send that message that I'm not happy or satisfied.
Right.
But
I understand that, and I understand your reasoning. So you don't agree with Trump on Obamacare, and you're concerned about the Russian interference with the election, and the John Lewis spat bothered you. Just for my interest's sake, would anyone who disagrees with John Lewis on a political issue get the same treatment from you?
Well, I mean, look, John Lewis is a hero in this country. He should not have been attacked the way he was attacked. It's clear that if you look at the kind of tone. Well,
I mean,
he's a congressman, but...
And I'm not attacking John Lewis. I'm just wondering. I mean, he's an elected official, and he has been for 30 years. And so if I disagree with something that he says, does that make me a villain?
Well, but to say that he has not demonstrated any action, I believe that's the wrong message. He has demonstrated a lot of action in terms of the things he has done. I mean, to make those kind of charges are ridiculous, to say those things about John Lewis and what he has meant. I just think those things are over the board. And I think as a person who's going to become the next president of the United States, in my particular view, we should talk about trying to bring people together rather than separate them.
Right. And I think it's a fair point. I don't think that the president-elect should have tweeted that. But my understanding is that he was making a statement about Congressman Lewis's district, which is not a rich district. It's a district with a lot of problems. And he was saying, look, you represent this district, and you have for all these years, and it's still in rough shape. Maybe that says something. And so I wanted to ask you, since you also represent a heavily poor district in Philadelphia, if you think boycotting the inauguration will help your constituents. And if so, how?
Well, look. At the end of the day, he will be president of all Americans.
Right.
The election is over. And the reality is we should work together. You don't work together if you're president of the United States by attacking a member of the Congress. I've been in the legislature for 36 years. Legislators and executives should work together. I've never seen a situation where the chief executive attacks the legislature before they get out of the box. I've worked with Republican governors, Governor Corbett, Governor Ridge, Governor Thornburg, right here in Pennsylvania. And we work together. We got things done. It's not to say we always had to agree on policy, but at the end of the day, the name of the game is to get something done for people, putting people first. I don't believe that that's what he has done.
But I wonder if you've ever seen a situation where legislators have attacked the executive even before he takes office. I mean, it does sort of go both ways, doesn't it?
Well, I don't.
And that's what you're doing. You're saying, I'm not even going to go to your inauguration because I so disapprove of you, and he's not even the president yet.
Well, as I said again, I'm there and meeting my obligation responsible in the United States Congress. I work in the 65 days I've been there. I've been working together to make a difference. I say this, look, President-elect Trump will be sworn in on Friday at 12 o'clock. Once he's sworn in, then maybe the fact of the matter, he will take a different attitude once he officially has the position as president. And then maybe when he takes that different attitude, we can find some common ground to get some things done. He talks about infrastructure. I'm a strong advocate for infrastructure. That needs to happen. Roads, bridges, airports, those kind of things.
That's a good point. So you have a majority black district. It's one of the most heavily African-American congressional districts in the country. The Trump campaign released some time ago what they're calling the New Deal for Black America, the 10-point plan. What did you think of that?
I haven't really seen it. I mean, I'll be open to see exactly what he's talking about.
Wait. What do you mean? Stop for a second.
No.
What do you mean you haven't seen it? The
I have
president-elect
not
who's going to
seen.
become president on Friday
repeat.
just released a 10-point plan for majority black districts, and you haven't seen it? Why?
Let me repeat it again to you. If I've seen it, I'll be more than happy to discuss it to you. I have not seen it. So I'm not going to make up something that I have not seen.
No, I don't. I'm not asking you to.
I have a plan.
Wait, let's just stop for 1 second. Why wouldn't you have seen that? I mean, you represent a majority black district. He has a very specific plan for black Americans. Don't you think you should have read that?
Maybe because he has not provided it to me. Because he hasn't provided it. I haven't seen it.
It's on the internet. He's been talking about it in speech after speech. I mean, you may not disagree with it or not, but why wouldn't you make an effort to find out what he's saying?
He could be, well, that's mutual. That's mutual.
I agree, but you're a sitting member of Congress, and he has a plan that affects your district, and you haven't read it?
Well,
I mean, come on.
It hasn't come up for a vote. It hasn't come up for a vote.
Well, he's not
in the House
yet.
So you don't. You just stated he has a plan, and I'm saying to you specifically, I'll be more than happy. He's the first one to say it, and I believe you support this position.
Look, I'm not trying to convince you that Trump is great. I'm not here to make the case for Trump. I'm merely saying that you're boycotting him on the grounds that he is a bad guy and maybe not a legitimate president. And I'm saying he has a lot of things you're boycotting him in any case.
Please don't put words in my mouth.
You already explained why you're boycotting him. I'm merely saying, why haven't you taken... Hold on, stop for 1 second. Simple question.
I said specifically on health care. Go ahead.
Why haven't you taken the time to find out what he's saying? And let me just run through a few of these things.
Let me tell you what you want me to tell you what he said.
You want me to tell you what he said?
No, you want me to tell you what he said? What he specifically
well, you don't know
said
because
to
you
the
haven't
black
read the
community.
document.
Well, no, I read his comments. I read his comments.
Where are you on school choice? That's number one. Your constituents are overwhelmingly for it.
Carlson, you should do your research before you check. I'm for charter schools. I started a charter school.
So
it's
you
called
and
the
Mr. Trump
Western
agree?
Wayne Charter School, and it has a union-based charter school. So if you do your research and find out, I led the charge here in Pennsylvania with Tom Ridge who did that.
Hold on, slow down. I'm finding common ground between you and the new president. How about this?
Let's
talk policy for a second.
What about the health plan? Let's talk about the health plan.
You disagree on the issue. That's true. Can you stop for 1 second?
That's important. Okay. Listen for a second.
You're trying to filibuster, and I'm trying to ask you questions?
No. I'm trying
You're not going to stop, are you?
To hear what I have to say. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay. So I'm just trying to tell you about things that this new president, who you disagree with, has said and ask you, do you agree or not? So he says, and I'm quoting, "We'll empower cities and states to seek a federal disaster designation for blighted communities in order to initiate the rebuilding of infrastructure." Are you against that?
I'm not against. I just said to you earlier that was for infrastructure. I stated that clearly up front.
We're for financial reform to make it easier for young African Americans to get credit. Probably for that too, I would think, right?
Well, hey, I'm open for that too.
There you go. Look, I'm not here to say Trump's going to do all this. I'm not here to say Trump's great. I'm merely here to say, you're just telling me you want to find common ground. You haven't bothered to read what the guy has said. I'm throwing some things at you and suggesting that maybe you've got more in common than you think.
Try not to put words in my mouth is what I'm saying.
Oh, and I don't mean to do that. I'm just asking you questions.
I said to you very specifically, the Affordable Health Care Act. For example, we have a hospital called Temple Hospital, which is like a safety net hospital. They have 8,000 employees. There will be a direct effect if the act is repealed. There's 8,000 people that work at that hospital.
We'll find out. It's a matter of seeking common ground. Yep, nope, I'm not saying it's not. Congressman, great to see you tonight.
Hey, thank you very much for inviting me, Tuss. Appreciate that. Hey, look.